Okay, so this is a 1644 map of Africa, and another proof that there are a lot of stuff we don't really know about the continent. So here you see it says Oceanus Ethiopicus, meaning the Ethiopian Ocean, which really tells you that the map of Africa, as we know it in modern times, is not accurate. It tells you the whole continent of Africa was before or in the previous times or in ancient times in 1644, at least reference to it, 1684 was called the Ethiopian, the whole continent of Africa was called Ethiopia. I've said this to many people before, but they always, tell me I'm wrong. I'm currently in the National Smithsonian Museum here in Washington, D.C. So once I came here again, I'm like, let me try and get this, as another proof of telling people that a lot of stuff that we know about Africa has been wrong. And you can see right there on the Horn of Africa, you see Arabia right there. So that's again should tell you, if you can see, you see Africa. It says on top to your top right, it says Africa, and then below it says Arabia. That whole portion used to be part of Africa. That whole portion used to be called Northeastern Africa. So that portion that you have today, you call it Middle East, which is a late term or is a recent term. That whole area, including Arabia, Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, Iran, Iraq, all these areas used to be part of Africa and used to be called Northeast Africa. And those of you know history, and those of you especially from Ghana, if you are an Akan, you are an Ewe, you are Gadangbe, you know where you came from, you know where your oral history tells you came from. So that whole area, like I'm showing you right now, that whole area called Arabia used to be part of Africa. And if I move you closer into it says, if you look right on top of where it says Ambient, it says Nubia. Nubia today is what we refer to as Sudan. And again, if you look closely, you see there's below somewhere in West Africa where it says Benin. This is way before the colonialists gave us our borders. It says Benin. Then you say below that it says Biafra, where the Biafrans are the Igbos basically are trying to gain independence from the country called Nigeria today. So you can see some of the names of the earliest kingdoms and tribes and how do you call it? And kingdoms, basically kingdoms and tribes, basically way before the Europeans started conquering Africa and giving it its borders. So you can see this is another proof. I'm not going to go deeper into how some of us came into the interior Africa and all of that, but this is yet again another proof to you. For those of you, my friends, that have been telling this for a long time, and they've been telling you, different stories, and they've been teaching you, this will never be taught to you in school. I can guarantee you that. This, especially in this mainstream education, they will never teach you this. Okay? They will never ever teach you this. So below this, you can see some of the stuff we have down here. We have the slave factories on the Gulf of Guinea, which is modern Nigeria. You can see right here. And everything I tell you, I have proof. So again, you see some of the shackles that was used during the slave trade. You can see right here, you can see the ones they put on their necks, and then the chains they put on their feet. This again is from Nigeria. Then you can see it says on top there, it says storage of the British slave ship Brooks under the regulated slave trade. So this is how basically the plan for how they were stored, the storage, how they were stored on the ships en route to the Americas, which is North and South America and the Caribbeans, or North America and South America, and then the Caribbeans, as well as Europe as well, because some of the slaves were sent to Europe. Again, you can see how this is a miniature, of how they were actually put together on the slave ships. So this is a depiction basically of how the ships, were put together, and how they were, the storage of human beings or human cargo, and then other materials as well. You can see below it, you can see they have all this storage stuff. Then they have human beings. You can see right there, human beings. This is just a depiction, but the actual was crazy. You can see the slave ship. It says right here, the slave ship. This model shows a typical ship in the early 1700s on the Middle Passage. The Middle Passage is the distance from moving them, moving them from Africa into Europe, into North and South America. You can see right here, and it gives a description of the various, some of the stuff that was done. Okay, so again, we have this is what they call Olado Ikwenu. If you're a Ghanaian, again, Oladas. Sorry, if you're an Ewe, Olada. Olada means, have they captured a snake? Olada is a typical African Ewe / Yoruba Benin name. Ikwenu, you already know, another Ghanaian or Ewe name, and Yoruba name as well. So this is another biography of one slave that was able to, escape, and he's a popular slave story. So you can read more about that. And here you have some of the artifacts. It says African culture in the Middle Passage. Some of the artifacts you have here. There's a palm oil pot from Liberia. And then you have a memory board from Luba, which is Congo. Then you have a thumb piano. This is the thumb piano. You can't see it clearly because it's a little bit dark here. So this is the memory board right there. And this is the thumb piano. It says thumb piano. And then this is this is a rice hoe. Actually, I think it's a rice hoe from Senegal. Rice hoe, HOE, from Senegal. It's a farming tool. And then you have the thumb piano right here. And then you have another issue figure from Yoruba people in Nigeria. So this is just a little history for you folks.